Okay, so we're moving.
Yeah,
we're moving.
We gotta go.
We're moving on to a popular kids show called True and the Rainbow Kingdom.
By the way, I only had my eyes open to this like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Not even that recent. We've been watching it for years.
You had no idea.
I had no idea it was so darkly undertoned. Like, you know how they say marijuana is a gateway drug? I feel like this is a gateway for kids, but we don't even get it.
Wow.
So for the longest, I thought it was just like this cute little adventure-y show.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I saw a review about a parent that said as well, like, their kid liked it, but they liked it too. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I resonate with that. But one of the parents' reviews was like, there's 2 reasons they don't let their kids watch it. And she was like, the saturated, bright colors, the really quick scene changes, those 2, like that right there was one thing. Because, you know, what'd she say? Developmental psychologists say that that's not good for the age range. And the age is 4 and up.
Oh.
Because it's like, it causes them to have, I really don't want to butcher this, but my understanding is it causes them to have short attention spans.
I believe that.
Because they're like looking here, then there's a flash of something here, flash of something there. So they're constantly looking around and being overstimulated. And then it's like there's no moral like takeaway from it. And the cause and effect is unrealistic. Mm-hmm. They don't really show the consequences of what's going on in the show.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, you're not taking anything away.
Yeah, so what's all this, like, I heard her talk about wishes, and then she's got, like, this thing on her chest.
The little backpack.
Well, there's these, they light up, and they come out.
Yeah, so it's like okay, so what happens is, they're going about their day. It's this girl and her cat.
Yeah.
It's a talking cat, and they live in this really colorful place called the Rainbow Kingdom. And so they go about their day. They're doing all this, whatever they're doing up for the day, for the episode.
Yeah.
Also, the thing the lady mentioned, the one parent, she said the episodes are super short. Like, they're real short. It's like 3 episodes in one show, I think. So what it is she has this little pack. And when they have problems that they can't solve on their own, which Bartleby never solves anything. He's like her sidekick. True figures out everything. She's the boss of the show. And so when they can't figure it out, they're like, let's go to the wishing tree. And so it's this huge tree. Everything is so cute in the show.
Of course.
It's adorable. You know how
course.
There's a joke, they say, like, Asian women love everything small and cute. It's just like, you can't, like, little bitty puppies with the big eyes are so cute. You can't resist them.
Right.
And so you go to this tree. The tree has a face. It's like it's living, which that's weird. And so the tree is living, and she goes inside, and there's this guy, which is, wow, I never thought of this word. Thank you, Holy Spirit. It's like a guru. She goes to him, and his name is Z, and she's like, Z, we have a problem.
Grammarly.
And they're like, let's sit down and have a think.
Yeah.
And so the other day, what happened, you know, my eyes are open, my spiritual eyes are open. Not my third eye, by the way, guys.
Your spiritual eyes.
Your spiritual eyes to see what's really going on. And so this guy, it looks like he has on, like, all I can think of is like karate. Like a karate uniform. It's real comfy, cozy looking. And he's like, okay, let's sit down and have a think. And I'm sure you could get deep with it, but they have these little magic mushrooms that grow when they get ready to sit down, and they take a deep breath and then they talk about the problem. And so they have these little balls of light, just little, they're so freaking cute. Little balls of light, and then the tree, they talk about their problem, and the wishing tree is listening while they're talking about it. And they're like, okay, True, the tree knows what you need. And they have this scene where she like floats up. There's nothing in the background but these bright lights. She floats up, and she closes her eyes like this, and these wishes just come out of nowhere, these little balls of light, and then they turn into whatever she needs.
Wow.
And there's 3 of them. And so Then she comes down, right, and the wishes are floating around her, all cute and adorable. And then they open this huge book. It just falls down, and they open this huge book, and they're like, okay, let's look at what the wishes are. And so they have a description, and she's like, I don't know how I'm going to use this, but we'll figure it out. And so they go into the pack. They turn into these little balls of light again. They're little golden balls, and they fit into the pack. So they're shifting. They're shape changing.
Well,
Multiple times in the show.
Let me tell you. I mean, the truth is in their description on the YouTube channel.
Girl, read it.
It says, so this is for season 1, episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says, True is the only one that can unleash the power of the magical wishes from the wishing tree in order to set things right and keep the residents of the kingdom safe. These adventures are packed with comedy that will delight boys and girls alike, while empowering them as they help True solve problems and overcome challenges. True and the Rainbow Kingdom's vibrant designs and magical storylines support and encourage children's imaginations and spark their creativity. True teaches confidence, mindfulness, and empathy for our world and all its living creatures. This is fun-filled CGI preschool series. This fun-filled CGI preschool series is produced by Guru Studio in collaboration with Pharrell Williams,
Jesus.
I Am Other, world-renowned artist collective, Friends with You, and Home Plate Entertainment.
Well,
I mean, if that doesn't tell you what you need to know right
I mean,
there.
it makes sense. The music in that show is so good.
Yeah.
Do you remember you told me you had that dream about that concert?
Yes.
How the music was so catchy.
Yeah, and they were straight up worshiping Satan.
Now, I don't know about the lyrics in these songs. It's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
But they try to make it child friendly. But like when I tell you, even this morning I told my son, I was like, okay, can we just not watch True? There's other things you can watch.
That's right.
And he had a fit.
Okay, you're going to have a fit.
Well, I mean, that's understandable,
Yeah.
but like you can see there's something more to it. It's like an addiction.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just physical and it's not just mental.
Yeah, so you could see it had an impact.
It has a
spiritually.
hold on him and I don't like it.
Well, just seeing that it's produced by Guru Studio.
I mean, it's weird. I've never used that word for that character until now.
But that's who's producing it. Guru Studio. So you got to know, like, somebody who's deep into yoga and
Once again,
mantras and
yoga comes up.
and probably Hinduism.
So the thing about yoga, if you don't know, and Hinduism, you can't separate the two. Yoga is a part of their spiritual, religious. It's a part of their religion.
Yeah.
You cannot separate the two. And you can look it up. There's a
Yoga is
university.
worship.
Yes. There's a university in Florida where there's like a collection of people who are Hindu. And they were angry that Americans were separating the yoga poses, calling it exercise. They said, this is our religion.
Yeah.
You can't separate it. And you're basically making a mockery of it.
But the enemy doesn't care that they're separating it. He's
No.
like, oh, worship is worship. Come
But
on,
I'm
bring
saying
it.
you have people that actually are part of the religion telling people that are like, no, it's just exercise. No. And then we have Bible study members. We are a part of an online Bible study as people all over America. And these two young men used to be deep in the occult and yoga. And they told us that once you get deep into it, there's certain stuff that you do and it's openly demonic.
Oh, yeah. There's
Like,
no hiding it.
No. And it's not just people who casually go and say, I'm going to stretch today. I'm going to a class to stretch.
I really need a place to wear these cute pants, too.
First of all, I can wear cute pants anywhere.
Anywhere I go. How about this? Every pair of pants I put on are cute.
Right. But
Just kidding.
and people think it's not that deep.
That's deep.
But I noticed that all of these pants that are labeled yoga pants, they have a little circle down at the base of your spine. And if you know nothing about yoga, that's where they consider, in the Bible, a serpent is the devil.
Yes.
Side note, Isaiah Saldivar said in Genesis, the devil was a serpent.
Yes.
And in Revelation, he became a dragon.
Yes.
Somebody's been feeding the dragon in between there.
Yeah.
And so the serpent is coiled up. A sleeping serpent is coiled at the base of your spine. And once you start to unlock your chakras that lead to your third eye, which is in your brain.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Those things were representative of chakras.
Could be. That's
they
what the
light up.
wishes are. But I never thought of that.
They light up with energy.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
But I noticed that on all the yoga pants, and I was like,
Yeah.
didn't get it until a while back.
and
I was
that's like the entry point for the Kundalini spirit.
yes. Well, they believe that the Kundalini is just sleeping, and it has to be awakened.
That thing ain't sleeping. You're sleeping. You are asleep.
Yeah, but that's what they believe.
Wow.
It's sleeping at the base of your spine.
So many are deceived.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
just a big deception. So this is getting your kids, teaches them confidence. And interesting that her name is True. She's a big lie. She's not a little girl. She's not a cartoon. It's a spirit that you're allowing into your home. And it's coming into your kids, giving them fake confidence in a false God.
Yeah.
Confidence can be replaced with faith.
Well, when you think about the determination aspect, I mean, it just reminds me of the goddess self.
It's just
I can do it.
yeah, and it's saying mindfulness. So being aware
that
of your
word.
own mind, where the Bible tells us that our soul is comprised of our mind, our will, there's that determination, and our emotions. And if my soul is my mind, my will, and my emotions, then I don't want all this mindfulness. I don't want to be the controller of my mind. I want Holy Spirit to lead my mind, direct my mind, direct the path of my mind, because He's the light to my path.
Yeah.
He will direct my path.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going with it. Like, if you're telling me that you're telling my child to be mindful and practice mindfulness.
Well, I
What?
mean, it's just like it's putting in the subliminal of your kid as they grow up. That
Yeah.
mindful is not a bad word.
No. But the way they're using it, it's teaching them mindfulness.
Yeah.
As a practice.
Well, I think it's funny because when they say let's sit down and have a think, they take that deep breath like they're emptying out their minds.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I was telling you I read in that book by Rebecca Brown. And she was, a lot of people are deceived that they have the Holy Spirit. And it breaks down what the demonic copycats do and what the Holy Spirit does.
Yeah.
The major points were the demons always try to make you feel bad. They try to control you. They're not gentle.
Yeah.
They always want to show off. Like they want people to become like puffed up. And
Yes.
the Holy Spirit is very gentle. They made a point about astral projection, which this is getting really deep, but that is where your spirit is being, you're using your spirit man to travel in the spiritual realm. And when demons lead people to do that, they're called spirit guides.
Wow.
But it ages the body because
Yeah.
it's not gentle like the Holy Spirit. And if, like in Revelation, how John went to see all these things, the Holy Spirit was gentle with him.
That's right.
And so gentleness, he always humbles you, doesn't want you above other people. He brings conviction.
Right.
So if you think about it in a court of law, the conviction is stating, you've done this, you've done that. It's not a condemnation, which is, you did this, you're not that. And so there's a completely different difference to a copycat and the real thing. And those are just a few that I read about the other day. And it was like, wow.
No, this is really twisted when you really look at it. It's saying these wishes have power.
And that you can't do anything unless you have the wishes because
And
you're not capable.
she's the only one that can unleash the power. And it comes from a tree. And that's how you set things right for the whole kingdom to be safe. Like, they're using some very spiritual words in
Yes,
this
they are.
description. And I wanted to also mention that I don't know if Pharrell Williams is even aware of how demonic this is. But the enemy I know is the father of lies. He's like the grand deceiver, and most of these people who are on these platforms thinking they're doing something good for kids,
Yeah.
they probably don't realize that they are working for the wrong team. They probably don't realize that they are inviting death into so many households
Oh my gosh.
through a TV screen, through the kids. And that makes me think about, I watched a documentary.
Did you say watched it?
I watched a
I'm sorry.
podcast from Little Light Studios, and they talked about, it was the one called Are You Being Entertained by Demons?
Oh, yeah,
Celebrities Channeling Spirits. And in that podcast, they mentioned the founder of the Church of Satan, and he's quoted as calling the television as the family altar to Satan.
Oh, yeah. I remember that part.
He calls it. He is the founder of the Church of Satan, and that's what he calls the television. He's like, we're so happy because there's like 6 TVs in every home.
Yeah.
It is literally the family altar to Satan.
So a definition of the very first definition of kingdom is a country, state, or territory ruled by a king or queen. So when I hear state, I don't just think about a piece of land. I think of like the state of my mind.
Yeah, mental state.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and
what do you
then,
think about when you hear territory?
Oh, you mean me or
Like-
like generally?
Territory. That's where. So, demons operate in territories.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking about me or like with the general public.
Yeah.
would
But that's
think.
what I was like. Oh, territories.
Oh yeah, because we learned about that.
Yeah, demons operate in territories. Like it said when Jesus went to cast the demons out of the man, and they went to the pig, and they went to the water.
Yeah.
It said Jesus went to this new territory,
Mm-hmm.
and they told him to get out of their territory.
Yeah.
So
Because remember it said that he ran to him. They ran to Jesus because he just stepped off the boat.
They were like, "Whoa, what are you doing here
Well,
in
first of
our
all-
territory?" Yeah.
And if you don't know, first of all, this is just us.
Yeah.
Like Holy Spirit told us to do this randomly.
Right.
And so if we mention something, it's because we've come across it or we really enjoy it. And
Yes, and also
so-
like if anybody has like a question on like, oh, what was that about? Put it in
Mm-hmm.
the comments so we can answer you, and we will do our best to give you like the backstory or any inside jokes or whatever that might happen.
And LED is light exposing darkness.
We'll put their link in the comments.
It's a
so
really good Bible-based discussion about lots of topics.
I do know there's a couple of things that doctrinally wise, like I don't agree with them on.
Yeah.
But the content is awesome.
It's just a discussion.
It's a discussion
between believers to
Yeah.
get people started talking and searching.
And LED is light exposing darkness.
I love that.
I mean, that's awesome. I wish it was still available. But anyways, okay, so we have dissected as far as time will allow us to. Onward, Luca, and True in the Rainbow Kingdom. And I
Yeah.
don't know if you noticed by now, but there's a real enemy. He's literally after your children.
Yeah.
And he's coming after them through parental laziness.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
that's how it is.
Because you're tired. You're like, I really got to do XYZ. I need you to go be babysat by the TV for a few minutes.
I know.
Right? And literally, like, instead of scrolling on Facebook at night, you could be researching appropriate shows.
Yeah.
Or reading material or whatever. But, like, the enemy is after your children through the family altar of Satan.
Yeah. And I think it's funny because it was and that's what this page is open to, the 2 invisible kingdoms.
Girl.
And it's like, this is what we're talking about.
Yes.
You have God's kingdom and the enemy's kingdom.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people think Satan is in hell right now, and he's not.
Whoa.
Yeah, and
Newsflash.
so I mean, you have to search it. I don't have the scriptural references right now, but there's at least Derek Prince said, and
Love
that's where I
Derek
got the
Prince.
notes from, by the way.
And-
Structure of Satan's kingdom, but
I think we need to do like a whole episode on that topic.
we are.
Because it's so deep and rich, and there's so much revelation knowledge in
Yeah.
it that will, I mean, we're in the end times. I know
Yeah.
we've been hearing that our whole lives, and our parents were hearing that their whole lives.
Yeah.
But there's been a blood moon. There's been
I mean, it's
walls
been the end
rebuilt.
since Jesus ascended.
Good is literally being called evil, and evil is literally being called good.
Yeah.
We are in the end.
And rumors of wars. And
Okay.
earthquakes.
They are starting to say, like, aliens are actually real. You're hearing that from the president, and that's just
Yeah.
preparing you for when the demons come to kill us all.
Just
So I'm just
so
saying.
much.
I'm just saying.
So much.
I know they've been saying that a long time.
Well, that's where it says like mockers and scoffers will say it's not real.
Oh, but now we've got like prophecies fulfilled, so many, so that
Yeah.
if you ain't ready, get ready. Start looking to the clouds. He's coming in a cloud.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm listening for the daggone trumpet. I'm ready. Come and get me.
And it's controversial because a lot of people are like, he's going to come like a thief in the night or he's going to come in the clouds. But, you know, remember I told you I was looking in Revelation and I had heard a couple of people speaking on it. It doesn't say there's two second comings.
Yeah.
Like there's just one. So I just want people to know, prepare yourself to stand on your faith. Don't be shaken and don't get complacent thinking, well, we're going to go up before all the bad stuff happens, so I don't have to research, I don't have to prepare. You need to prepare. You've got to read and study to show yourself approved, because if you don't, you're going to be like, oh, we're here because bad stuff is happening and people are dying and God must have forgot me. And you'll lose your faith.
Come on now.
Like, you can't do that because
It's gonna. I believe that it's gonna happen in our lifetime.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready. And every night I anoint my knees, and I'm like, my knees. I do
Yeah,
because
I
you want to
remember.
know why? Because in the natural, when you get scared, your knees shake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these knees will not shake
Right.
in the presence of the enemy. They will not shake. They will stand firm, and these feet will go where God tells them to go. So I
Yeah.
know my feet too. They will go where God tells them to go.
Right.
Regardless of what the enemy tries to do to this mind of mine,
Mm-hmm.
these knees won't shake, and these feet will go the direction that God tells them
Well,
to go.
you know, if you put on a good front, it doesn't matter how afraid you are. He can't read your mind.
Nope.
So you just got to be like, oh,
I'm
good.
moving. I'm going to advance. I'm constantly. Okay, so look, here we go. We have to move on.